Hello, I'm Kyle, and I'm going to talk about yet another Aussie film that I have watched that is about to hit Australian cinemas. It's called Mercy Road, and well, rev up your engines and load your weapons because it's time for an adrenaline-fueled, heart-pumping descent into madness. Blood will be spilled, threats will be made, and you'll be on the edge of your seat in this white hot Aussie thrill ride. Now, it follows Tom, played by Luke Bracey, who his knuckles are bloody and dripping from sweat. He jumps in the driver's seat of his work truck and he speeds off. Now he's making a run for his life, and we don't even know what he's done. Now, Tom is a deeply flawed, violent man who has done something horrible, but has he done it for the right reasons? Has whoever he done it to maybe deserved it? Whatever the case, his nightmare's really only just begun. And as we're trying to figure out answers to these questions, Tom receives a phone call from a mysterious man calling himself an associate. And this character, this voice, is performed by British actor Toby Jones. Calmly, he informs Tom that his daughter, Ruby, I believe the character's name is, has been kidnapped. I would say the actress who played Ruby, but there's actually three different actresses that play the one part. There's the one that plays the voice, the one that plays a physical character, and the one that plays her in a flashback. So I'm not even going to bother trying to give through all those names. Um, but yeah, if Tom ever wants to see his daughter again, he's going to have to do exactly what this associate tells him to do, regardless of the cost. Now, Tom was already up to his neck in it before he received this call, so why pump the brakes now, right? Now, as the night rolls on, we slowly discover what he has done, what he's running from, and how his life will never be the same again. But if he can save his daughter, then maybe redemption can still be found somewhere on Mercy Road. I can't remember if I introduced the film. It's Mercy Road. um, yeah, writer director John Curran, he's had an illustrious career working between Australia and America. It's interesting because he is an American, but he's done about as many prominent Australian films as he's done prominent American films. He's done films like Praise, Chappaquiddick, Stone, a movie with Edward Norton, Mila Jovovich, and Robert De Niro. Um, I think he wrote the film um, The Killer Inside Me, starring Casey Affleck and Jessica Alba. I mean, he wrote that based on a book. He didn't direct the film, but but yeah, his films both local and abroad have received acclaim, and I mean, I admit to being a fan of much of his work before now, without even knowing the man's name. But for his latest feature, he brings us something altogether different in this low budget, high octane psychological thriller. Now, the film feels both familiar, yet at the same time, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. Its single viewpoint, which and also a mostly single setting framework, is reminiscent of kind of a cross between Speed and Phone Booth. And if that sounds familiar, it's pretty much the exact same description I gave to a movie called Retribution, starring Liam Neeson, that just came out about a month or two ago. This movie, just like that, is largely set just within the confines of Tom's motor vehicle. However, it's the story and the style of Mercy Road which makes it so much more of a much more of a fascinating movie than Retribution was. It's this emotionally charged, high tension film noir where you're never quite sure what is going on. And again, it achieves this a lot better than Retribution did. Uh, we're kind of thrust into the thick of it along with Tom, and we can't help but feel just as confused and anxious as he finds himself. Like right as we think we've gathered an understanding of the situation, the rug gets pulled out from under us, and it's also aided by the film's real distinctive visual style, which sees Tom and the confines of his truck as real to the touch solid objects. However, nearly everything else in the world is artificial and CGI. It's very much like the style of 2005 Sin City or 300 or the Spirit, other films like that, which are kind of hyper reality kind of films. Like I said, everything Tom, his car, it's all real, but yeah, the outside world has this real surreal quality to it, which enhances the claustrophobic isolation of Tom's current mindset. Like it's panic induced, heart racing and sweating. There's helicopters hovering overhead. There's red and blue flashing lights with sirens in the rearview mirror, and somehow things get even worse if you happen to suffer from arachnophobia. um, yeah, like it really is one of the most intensely visceral films that I've ever seen, and quite unlike Curran's previous work. Like it reminded me a lot of a Gaspar Noé film, like the filmmaker who'd made Irreversible, um, Into the Void, Climax, those films. So it really made me feel like that. Like it's a very uncomfortable, claustrophobic, just intense experience. And despite a sizable cast of actors providing voice only roles, this really is a one man show. The film follows Tom for its entire runtime, and Bracey gives this a really powerful performance as this troubled father in a race against time. You can believe that this is a man who has had a long and checkered past that we're not even privy to, but deep down he loves his daughter, and all the rage and the fear which drives him stems from that. I won't go too deeply into the story beyond what I already have because I really do think that it it really is best to just be experienced for yourself. It really is a uniquely dark movie of paranoia and wrath clashing together. Like Mercy Road, it's a captivating watch. I think it's a solid Australian film made on a lower budget, but with high results, and it almost demands to be seen more than once, just so you can kind of get a good understanding of what's going on in the film. So I quite enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and yeah, I'm going to give this 4 stars out of 5. Yeah, check it out. I believe it's opening up in some cinemas early November. The movie's called Mercy Road, and yeah, give yourself a treat. Check it out.